Overflow Church family, as things with COVID start to settle down, Chris and I thought it would be a good idea to make a little video if you're returning to worship with us to know what to expect. So the first thing that we would ask on a Sunday morning as you come to worship with us is to enter through the front glass doors where you'll come into our lobby here and be greeted, and you'll have a chance to pick up your to-go communion supplies for as many as your family needs. And from there you can go into the auditorium where you'll find a seat.
So when you get here on a Sunday morning, you're going to notice that we've got some of the pews roped off. And that's partly to make sure that we have enough space between people. We're wanting to make sure that we follow the right safety guidelines. We're taking into consideration the distance we have to have. Now, when you get here, if you're arriving at 9:30 for our adult class that we're planning to start again soon, you are going to pick a seat. And that seat will be your seat for both class and service. So pick a seat that you really like, because that's where you're going to be sitting. This helps us prevent the need for cleaning or sanitizing after you found your place. You'll be able to get up between class if you just kind of remember where you sat, maybe leave a jacket behind. When you get here for service, our hope is that we can load the front of the auditorium first towards the back of the auditorium so that people who come in late don't have trouble trying to fill in gaps that are difficult to see sometimes. Service is about an hour long. We've been pretty consistent with that since January, really, and we intend for it to continue to be about an hour long, starting at 10:30. So if you get here at the very beginning of service, there's probably still going to be a couple of seats available here in the auditorium, but we've also had some folks arrive after service has started. We're a couple of minutes in, and it's difficult sometimes to find a seat here in the auditorium. We actually have two options for people who maybe arrive and we can't find a space for you in here. The first is up in our nursery up here. We've actually turned it into some overflow seating. With the way the seats are arranged, you can see everything in the auditorium except maybe the people here in the back rows. And you can also hear everything that's in the auditorium. Kyle and Michael found the audio issues that we were having and are taking care of that. And so it's a wonderful overflow seating option. My own family has actually taken advantage of it several times. And so I'd encourage you, if you get here late and you look into the auditorium and you're like, well, there's no space for me, there's always the opportunity for sitting upstairs. But the other option that we're going to talk about may actually be, for some people, the preferred option. And I'm going to hand it over to Kyle, who's going to tell you more about that.
So as Chris said, another option for secondary overflow, if you're coming to worship with us, is up here in the fellowship hall. We have several tables spaced out where you'll actually be watching the live stream. So there will be a slight delay, but it should work out pretty well. You can watch it up on the screen up here. And one thing we like about this area is that it might be really great for families, especially families with young kids, because it gives you a chance to maybe be a little noisier, spread out a little more. You have a table to do some activities if you want to bring some from home. One thing we also plan to do moving forward is provide a small little basket on each table up here with some basic craft supplies, markers, those kind of things that your kids can use if you'd like to do some coloring or things like that. But you'll be able to watch our worship up here. I know we've already utilized this space a couple times, but it might be a really good option if you've got little ones who sitting down in the auditorium for an hour is maybe just a little too much for them. At the same time, if you are down in the auditorium and your child's a little restless and you need a place to go, there's the nursery downstairs off the lobby, but you're also welcome to come up here. There's probably going to be room up here to sit even just for a little while during our service.